This was a Heiwa production.
Every piece of good fiction has a good protagonist, a great antagonist, and a half-decent plot. And one thing that just ruins it is a useless character.
Bitch, I'm taking off, I'm flowing out of space. Been too many racks, designer on my waist.
Like, take for example Hawkeye. This nigga literally provides nothing towards the Avengers. This nigga's just a liability. Nigga, you were so sorry that they had to leave you out of Infinity War. Marvel knows what's up. When a raccoon and literal tree bark receive more screen time than you know there's an issue. And also keep in mind, Groot hardly has leaves on his body, which means this nigga can't even respire properly. Keep in mind, Tree Bark is a fucking producer on the food chain. And the thing is, Tree Bark actually has some noteworthy accolades. Like, my nigga clutched up and saved the nigga Thor by sacrificing his arm to make a handle for Thor's axe, all while being a piece of tree bark that can't respire effectively. So somehow the nigga Hawkeye got mugged by a tree. I can't lie, if that shit ever happened to me, I would have to log out of life effective immediately and dedicate my time in the afterlife to find out what happened to Virgil. Like, look at this, he is trying to fight to kill himself for a pebble and he's losing.
This nigga is trash.
When Hawkeye slide does something noteworthy, he hits these AI generated animations. Like, this nigga runs with no sense of urgency. But when he hits this main character animation here, I get a bit teary-eyed because supporting character number 26 is about to make a noble sacrifice. Or so we thought.
I don't understand why you even did this to yourself. This made you look so fucking stupid. This shit make you look so stupid.
My nigga, you had one simple job, and it was to die, and you couldn't even do that right. And to make matters even worse, they tried to give this nigga his own mini-series. Like, my nigga, who the fuck is watching that shit? Like, this is the same so-called Avenger who somehow was in house arrest during Infinity War. Yeah, after hearing that, there's just no way this nigga is a real Avenger. Reason being is because we all know Avengers just receive no accountability for harm they do to society. Like, just look at what them niggas do to New York on a frequent basis. But one thing I'll admit Hawkeye is useful for is fighting them level 1 enemies that have no relevance to the story at all. But somehow, the other characters on this list provide less use than Hawkeye. And it absolutely bamboozles me. For example, Starlight from The Boys. And in particular, we are going to be zooming in into season 4 Starlight, because that bitch there is a fucking fraud. So just make a note to slap her on fraud watch effective immediately. But we need to be fair though, so we need to talk about Starlight's noteworthy achievements in season 4. So as you can already tell by Starlight's achievements or lack thereof, that her and usefulness are just not synonymous with one another. For example, she gets mad at Huey for messing with an individual who is identically looks like her, because the other individual has some shapeshift powers and whatnot, but that's neither here or there. And she was also mad at Huey for not realizing, keep in mind, the individual's power is the ability to change into somebody else. So how the fuck can you be mad at him for not realizing sooner? And I would sort of understand her case if he never ever realized, or it took him so many years to finally realize. But no, he clocked kinda quickly, but she's still pressed. And what makes Starlight even more useless is that she can never ever use her powers when it actually matters. For example, when that shapeshifter had her chained up in simple metal chains, which she should be easily able to blast her way out with her powers. Okay, let me give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe her powers are not strong enough. Maybe give off a signal. Maybe give off a flash. Maybe get some glowing eyes. But no. You sit there, give it to despair, and start crying. My nigga, you are a whole super being with special abilities. You should be able to get out of that easily. And I know some diehard Starlight fans are probably going to say, oh, her powers are gone because of character development and all that whatnot. Nigga, I don't give a shit. What happened to her IQ? Why can't she use her IQ to get herself out of the situation? I guarantee all the other boys members could get out that situation easy peasy, all the way from Kimiko to MM. Furthermore, especially MM, escaping chains is just in his DNA. But not Starlight though. Instead of using her powers to escape chains, escape the terrible things that the deep asked her to do, no. She did one better. She decided to bully Firecracker. Keep in mind, Starlight hasn't used the flight ability more than 3 times in the show. But the time when she does, it's to bully her favorite victim, Firecracker. And the reason why I say bully, because I couldn't even class this as a fight. Not even a beatdown. This shit is fucking capital punishment. I don't know what Firecracker did to Annie in her past life to get bitched by her for nearly half her entire life. Starfire's punching Firecracker like she's not the victim. Like, I understand why Firecracker hates Starlight, but why does Starlight hate Firecracker? Like, she leaked some medical records or some shit, but I promise you it's never that deep. And Starlight was about to hit Firecracker with that finisher move, but that's when it finally hit me. That Starlight could have used that finisher move on the deep when he was slinging meat and trying to put it in deep. But again, when her powers actually needed, she starts making lights flicker. But worst of all, she sucked the meat. Like, she got didified just to join the 7. But then somehow her ultimate finishing move gets blocked by a human being. And the next one on the list is less to do with the individual character, but it's a character trope / a character design that I just hate in general, and it's the lollies.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
I know. At the time in our society right now, speaking on lollies is not one of the greatest ideas, but fuck it, we boo. So we're gonna first start off mild. Wendy from Fairy Tail. She's one of the most dislikable characters in the show, since she serves no purpose, but she gets way too much screen time for my liking. And like the other 2 characters on this list, she cannot form opinions of her own. Like, I generally don't understand why she's there. She's not strong. She doesn't provide any comedic relief. She's not interesting. She doesn't have a sad backstory. There's nothing about her that warrants her for being in the actual show. Like, what she really is a hindrance to the story. Like, she slows down the progression of the story and it actually pisses me off. Wendy being in Fairy Tail is equivalent to watching a David Attenborough documentary and then he starts informing us about BT Wi-Fi like it has any fucking relevance. Like, I'm alright, yeah, it's cool that BT Wi-Fi is ultra fast broadband and whatever, but I want to learn about the lions and how the dinosaurs go extinct. And you'd think that because she's one of a few dragon slayers, she's the wind dragon slayer, that she could be interesting. Well, you're wrong. She's one of the most uninteresting characters in the show. It's just one of the same copy and paste lolly character trope, and the writers full well know this. But instead of trying to make her interesting, what do? They add in fan service, which is one of the most vile, disgusting things they can do to a lolly character. And I'm not going to show examples of what I'm talking about, but very clear ethical issues. For one thing, I can say for certain, one of her main roles outside of being annoying and complaining is fan service. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to my hero brothers and sisters and say I don't like the fan service. I watch Bikini Warriors still to this day. Some scenes of High School DxD is still peak, still to this day. And some fan service scenes in Fairy Tail aren't bad either. I would even say I'm a fan of it. For example, when it has Lucy and those occasional times it has Urza. But when it's Wendy, who looks like a 7-year-old, yeah, that's where you gotta draw the line, turn off the whole show and come back again the next day. And that's what really pisses me off about Wendy. And that's why I say she's useless, because the only 2 roles she has is to piss off the viewer because of how annoying she is and disgust the viewer because some of her fan service scenes. But keep in mind, I said the entire lolly trope is useless. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. But I'm not gonna dive too much into it in this video. Plus, I don't want beef with none of them EDP 445s or the Mr. Beast crew. Especially the Mr. Beast crew. Because that video I just saw exposing them, nah, I don't want no smoke. And most importantly, I don't want to turn into some Soul Illuminati type of video.
I'm telling you right now, femboys, trainees, all y'all niggas catching these hands if you ever come near me. You can be the prettiest trainee of all time. I'm beating you up.
Yeah, so let's just keep it pushing. But as I was going to say, lollies in romance animes are weird, annoying, and just useless. And Sumi from Rent a Girlfriend just so happens to be all 3 of them. Like there's actually no reason for her to be in the show other than just to prolong it unnecessarily. Like shit, Rent a Girlfriend could be some cool 12-13 episode anime where Kazuya and Chizuru get together. Just fine. But no, she has to come in and unnecessarily prolong the show and just keep on just spawning out of nowhere for absolutely no reason, providing no plot to the story and just pissing everyone off. But here's the thing, don't let her looks facade you, because as you can see, she looks shy, quote unquote cute, but in truth, she's the devil in disguise. And let me tell you why. Because in romance animes, you normally have 1, maybe 2 cock blocks. When it's 2, it's sometimes a bit of an exaggeration. But if a plot's good, we can keep it pushing. But here's the thing, not only is she the 3rd, she's a lolly character. She's the 3rd lolly cock block, which just absolutely jars me. Because she gets in the way of Kazuya and Chizuru's love, but she's also cock blocking the cock block. And I never ever knew that shit was even possible. But what confuses me even more is her reason for cock blocking. Like I can understand why Ruka's cock blocking, because Kazuya saved Ruka from the streets. But with this bitch, she just spawned there for no fucking reason. No explanation as to why she spawned there. But what she does do is cock block and slow down the show. And that's why we have 3 seasons of Rent a Girlfriend and we are going on to the 4th season of Rent a Girlfriend. So in fact, calling this bitch useless is a fucking understatement. This fucking bitch is a cancer. She's a whole cancer cell. But here's the thing, we can't talk about useless anime characters without talking about Yamcha. But unlike most people, I'm not going to talk about his lack of fighting ability. Because keep in mind, he solos most verses. And keep in mind, the nigga can fly. Unlike any other normal human being. But here's the thing that doesn't happen to any normal human being. Your bitch being taken by the nigga who killed you. And then proceeded to put a baby in your bitch. But it's fine though. These things happen. Occasionally. And to the worst of us. But these things still happen. That shit could never happen to me though. But it still happens. But the big issue with Yamcha lies is when he saw his biggest op, Vegeta, on 1 HP. Full well knowing he just moved to his bitch effortlessly and he decided not to get back. Yamcha, it is no secret you are not the most capable fighter. But my man can barely stand properly. I guarantee you could have taken him off the map. You should have sent him to Janemba. Even if I was in your position and if I was in Dragon Ball, I would have a power level of 5, nigga. I would still get back. Give me a fully loaded P90 and a thermite grenade. And trust me, Vegeta will be partaking in a Saiyan reunion. Hey, but Yamcha, my nigga, you're useless as hell.
45 seconds, who does it? Yeah, this way too far, gonna say they said I won't touch it. Big of a shotgun, grip, kick back like buckets. Snap in their face in my circle like Kit Kat does. I can take a little bit of